When the fires die down and the guests are full, the only thing left to do is enjoy the company. Best done with a fresh cigar and a cold drink. This is After the Cook.
What's going on, everybody? It's After the Cook, another fantastic edition of After the Cook. We're out here in Florida, baby. We're out here in Gulfport at the BBQ Buddha's house.
What's happening? And you know what? This is a legit After the Cook because we really just did cook.
We just did cook.
And now this is After the Cook. So, and we have, can I tee it up? This is After the Cook. It's our podcast that everybody should be subscribed to.
Thank you for
following. And that's what you're watching and listening to right now. And but this is a very special episode to me. It's near and dear to my heart. There is like the Mount Rushmore of OGs on the barbecue socials. And if one of those four faces was carved in that rock, it was terrible grammar, but you understand what I'm saying. Of those four faces, one of them would definitely be our guest tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, the OG of OGs, Mikey K.
Ooh, that's a lot to live up to. Wow.
Is it Mikey K?
It's Mikey K.
Mikey, so it's not Mickey.
It's not Mickey. You don't know how to say it. No. It's because you're Canadian, so you don't know how to say my name.
Well,
but I love you.
I'm trilingual, so it's not my fault.
Trilingual.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mikey K. Fire and Smoke, Man Meat Barbecue, the whole 9 yards right here. Very excited to have him on here. We've been hanging out for a couple days now.
We have, yes. It's been a great couple days.
Finally, we're here. Barbecue Buddha's got a big book launch.
Big book launch. I mean, it's not that big of a book, but it's going to be a big launch.
But if I threw it at you, it hurt.
It would not feel good at all. It's not just a digital-only book, ladies and gentlemen. It's an actual physical book. But we're not here talking about my book. Well, we could talk a little bit about the book.
That's why we're
here to talk about your book.
That's literally why we're here, so carry on.
Well, I thought we were here doing a podcast.
Well, no, we're right now doing a podcast.
Well, can I back up for a second? Because
Yes.
literally, this is my state of mind. I'm
I
like,
love
is it Mickey or is it Mikey? Have I messed it up all these
you
years?
have
I thought you did too. I thought you did too.
And so now I'm like, oh my God, I've known him forever, but I didn't know it was Mickey. Now I can't get Mickey out of my mind. Mickey.
God, it's gonna.
Last night when I was on the other side of the bay, I was seeing through my third eye, and I was calling him Mike all night. I don't know. It's not my fault, but
Was it all together like that? Mike all night? Because I like the ring of that.
Mike all night.
So how do we know you? Why are you the OG of OGs? How do people know you? Don't hear me talk about it.
Nobody knows who I am. So I started a podcast in 2014 called Man Meat Barbecue. It is no longer a podcast, unfortunately. Trying to keep up with it and doing the rest of the barbecue stuff that I got into just became a little too much work to do all by myself.
But hold on a minute. I mean, he just was very humble. Yes. But it wasn't just, it was before I even didn't know that they called him podcasts at the time that he was doing this.
it might not have been a podcast.
It might not, but
was
so
a
he
barbecue show.
was a
No, it was a
trailblazer.
podcast.
And this one included, have all followed in the footsteps of the original. And you are the original. And anybody, when we were coming up, I mean, I was brand new back then. And I was like, oh, my God, if I could be a guest on his show, I've made it. This is it. This is a stepping stone. This is where I am. And so...
And then they realized that meant nothing, that you were just a guest on my show. And then they did a bunch of other stuff. One of the things that I've kind of branched out with
funny.
is I do kind of do a show. I do a live show on Instagram. It's called Barbecue Chat. We do it every Sunday night, or kind of every Sunday night. It's a loose Sunday. But it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central. And then you guys can do the rest of the math if you live somewhere else. It's just a fun barbecue chat show. We have a good time. It's me and Cowboy Kev, which is Wiley_E_BBQ. We've been tuning into After the Cook since you started this. Yep. It's one of my favorite little shows to watch and listen to, and I don't mean little as in like bleeding it, but it's something I enjoy watching. And I'm very honored to be on.
Will you listen to your episode? Will you vibe out on it like you were just explaining?
I will not.
No.
You know what? No. I can't listen to my own voice.
You know
so what should we say to your future self that you should know?
Oh, don't even mess with the time.
That you're not going to watch.
1.21 gigawatts. 1.21 gigawatts.
Start losing weight now, bro.
I slipped off the toilet and smashed my head on the sink, and I came up with the time flux capacitor. This is it. This is not shit you want to think about when you're in the middle of the night in
No,
Florida.
not at all.
Yeah.
In the Florida heat.
I love it. I love it. No, but really,
It's pretty nice tonight.
I'm hoping that we jump on a live the day that this episode is released, and I hope the
Yeah,
three of us,
yeah,
and
we'd
we
love
get
to.
Cowboy Kevin
Yeah.
there.
That's our new commitment. I think we
Yes.
agreed on
I
in
love
our
it. I
production
love it.
meeting. But
All
we
together.
agreed today that part of our move forward plan is to do a live the day of so people could watch it, listen to it, ask us questions, and hopefully we'll get our guests on to be able to answer those questions as well. But we're talking about the future and Mikey or Mickey's future self.
Our future, your present.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Wow. Wowie, wow.
If you didn't know how TV magic works.
This is crazy. So you know anything about barbecue? Or?
No, nothing.
Okay, perfect.
I
That's
learned
what
to
we're gonna
cook yesterday from you.
Jump. There you go. I'm sorry about that.
It was my first day cooking yesterday.
So
now-
rap or not?
Yeah,
Do we
no,
just jump right?
I don't. I have no idea how
Was
to
it
rap.
fat cap sideways?
Sideways, correct? Yeah. You trim the whole fat cap off and throw it away.
Oh, dude, if we don't market fat cap sideways stickers and shirts after this episode. So here's the advice to my future self. Trademark this stuff in the past now so the future self watching this now is reaping the benefits of this great idea
Yes,
in the
yes.
past.
Yes, absolutely.
Fat cap sideways.
So since Man Meat Barbecue, I went on to start a company called Fire and Smoke Barbecue Company. We are a food truck, but we also have a rub line and a hot sauce line. It's fireandsmokebbq.com if you would like to pick any stuff up.
And it's deadly. It's absolutely. We just did a thing at Grill and Provisions down here in Tampa, and I did right into his sauce. We did some chicken wings for the people came out. It was amazing, like really good stuff. And his rubs have been solid this entire time. The Windy City, the shiitake steak. Man,
Yeah, I was just going to
that's-
say the shiitake
Yes.
steak and your shiitake Szechuan might be a killer
Oh, buddy.
combo.
Yeah.
Ooh,
The
those could
double
go.
shiitake.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't give a shiitake.
That's exactly.
There you go.
Never cross the streams, people. Never cross the streams. But maybe cross the streams. We don't know. So that's it.
We could try.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, here's I'm going to just do a little test here to see if everybody microphone check. Tampa Bay just scored again. No, they didn't.
We actually
wanted you
brought
to-
our producer Jordan down from Toronto.
Tirana,
And they're in the middle of the Stanley
playing-
Cup, and they're playing the Tampa Bay.
And they just to be
Lightning.
future selves, they didn't just score right now. Just did that to pull Jordan's leg.
Way off.
So, Chicago,
Chicago.
is that your roots?
Roots are Chicago. Born and raised in Chicago.
Like shameless side of Chicago?
No.
So what are we picturing here?
We're not shameless side
Not
of
shameless.
Chicago.
I
no.
wasn't just saying, but
Yeah,
it
no.
would paint a vivid picture for people.
More north side of Chicago.
Okay.
We are making the move to Florida. We will be eventually relocating to somewhere in Florida, probably Jacksonville. That's the goal.
Yep.
We'll have the food truck back up. We'll have everything going, and business as usual.
Can you share, is that your ultimate destination and or
The ultimate
goal, or do
so
you
the
want to open
ultimate
up a restaurant?
The ultimate goal is we want to open up a barbecue supply store, which not many people know that yet. This is the first time we're sharing it anywhere on social media, but we want to open up a barbecue supply store. Me and Mel had a conversation about this earlier, where it's like you go into a lot of barbecue stores and sometimes people don't know what they're selling you, and I'd like to just be that person that you can actually come to and talk to.
Yeah.
And give you some kind of real advice.
The knowledge that you bring to the table, the experience, your network, and your culinary acumen would make great sales tools in this. And I'm sure your ideas for design and layout of the store. Have you done market research in Jacksonville?
We've done a little bit. We haven't done a ton. I kind of want to build something a little bit different. Obviously, I want to bring people like you guys into the store. I want to have classes. I want people to be able to get real barbecue knowledge from people. Come in and do a big green egg class for people that have, they've been cooking on a big green egg for maybe 3-4 years, and they're like, it's the best steak cooker ever. Well, it makes more than just steak.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know how many times I've heard, like, this is the best smoker ever, and we're in the middle of a rainstorm now.
We are.
Wow, how
Florida,
is that?
baby. Florida. I love
So-
it. This is pricey.
Here's so the past self to the future self It hasn't rained literally, not figuratively, literally here in my area for 6 months. And the weekend of my big book release party is a line
rain
of
every
storms.
day.
It's rain. Well, no.
I brought it, dude. I brought it with me.
But you know what? We're going to soldier on, and then in the future version of me, we'll look back on this either fondly or...
It'll turn out. We're very excited for this event. The Budapalooza on the beaches at a pub in Gulfport. It's going to be amazing. We have a bunch of the Big Green Egg Team Green members. Mikey's
Tina
coming out.
Cannon, Mel...
Yes.
Schmiller.
Mel Schmiller.
Oh, he's that guy from Edmonton.
Dark Side
of
the Grill.
That's
right.
We've got
Tina Cannon.
Tina Cannon, I think, yes.
Shannon from
Shannon,
the
Big Green Egg Foodie.
She's going to be bringing vegetables, so get excited for that. We'll have some roughage to go with that amazing meat, right?
Wait, you put stuff with your meat? I just eat meat.
You have to have the potatoes with the meat. You have to have them.
I could do potatoes. Yeah,
meat
that's fine.
and potatoes. That's this is.
Now we're way getting off track, but this does make me think if any of this content's going to get in, this will be a good story. So tonight, speaking of vegetables and the meat, we go shopping, and Mel picked Jordan up at the airport, and our job is to go get dinner, get stuff for dinner. So Mel, we're going through the grocery store, and we pass right through the vegetables because I just assumed Mel didn't want any vegetables. And he was like, no, wait, stop. Don't you want a salad? I'm like, sure, what kind of salad? And he said, just a garden salad. So we searched, we found a garden salad. All excited about this garden salad.
Yes.
And Mel got home with all the meats that we got, started cooking, went to go serve. I said, Mel, do you want the garden salad that we got? He said, no, I don't want the garden salad.
Well,
so we have a garden salad. We'll be serving that Sunday at Budapalooza as well. First 10 people that show up for Budapalooza get a sample of the garden salad that Mel didn't eat. So
Okay, come on, serve like 5 people.
If that doesn't get people there, I don't know what will.
Just because Mikey and his wife came down, right? We have Jordan from Toronto. We're putting on just a quick dinner. We stopped at Publix. We stopped at Publix, right? We stopped at Publix. we got the picanha. We got blade steaks. We got chicken wings with the new Dark Side rub. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be crazy. But we threw down a bunch of meat, right? We got shrimp done with the tahine. Tahine, we did, not the tajin, the tahine, right? And it was very nice, but there was no room for salad. So yeah, we're down here in Florida having a blast, poolside. Me and Mikey spent a night or two in the pool already. We've had a blast. It's been a good time. It's absolutely love it. I'm very excited to see where your trip is going.
We're going up to the first ever New England Egg Fest. We're going to be up there. It's May 20th, which is 2 days before my birthday, so that should be fun.
Nice.
We're going to be there kind of sampling rubs, selling rubs, and showing what we do. The thing that we kind of pride ourselves on is, all of our rubs are hand-packed. There's no preservatives in our rubs. There's no anti-cake. There's nothing that can, distort the spices.
Exactly.
And then, we're doing this thing where when I developed Windy City, which is the first one that we put out.
Yes.
One of the things that I didn't like about all the commercial rubs and everything that was out there is the high sugar contents. And it's like people who know how to cook do a good job at not over caramelizing, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
But your average guy in the backyard may not know how to do that. So a lot of them are turning, pretty dark black because the caramelization, and they're like, oh, well, it's not that good because it turned, too much caramelization.
A lot of people out there think their barbecue sucks because they're cooking with heavy sugars.
Yes. So like Windy City has no sugar in it at all.
100%.
The only rub that we have sugar in is our sweet rub. And I tried for a year and a half to make a rub with no sugar that would be sweet enough. And I couldn't do it.
What were you doing as the alternatives to sugar?
We were using
monk fruit?
Honey powder.
Huh,
there you go.
Interesting.
I like honey.
Well, we were using honey crystals.
There you go. Yep.
Granulated honey.
Yep.
But when you try putting that much granulated honey into a bottle, it starts to get very expensive.
Yes.
And the bottle becomes almost unattainable.
Yes, exactly.
To make any money on.
No. And I have to say, I've been through the numbers in my head with his product line. It's a very down-home, very personal brand, Fire and Smoke, and it's worth every single penny The markup is not huge. He's in a very great place with it, and you guys definitely
You
try it.
co-pack or you do it yourself?
We're currently our own co-packer. We
Use the food truck as your commercial kitchen?
No, in Chicago you can't use your food truck as a commercial kitchen. You have to have a commercial kitchen. So we use that to do all the work out of.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's awesome. That's wicked. No, I've been using that shiitake steak rub for forever in the Windy City. I've been loving it. It's nice to. We did the North Florida Egg Fest together.
Yes.
And you had the whole spice line up there. We hammered that thing hard. Me and Captain Ron, we took second place there at that North Florida Egg Fest. It was a good time. But
it's a good egg fest.
Oh, it was a good egg fest.
It was a great egg. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of good quick teams.
New England Egg Fest you're doing, that's turning out to be a big one. I was doing that, but then we got the call to do Memphis in May, and I got to go where Big Green Egg has me go. But it's shaping up. They've got a good lineup.
I know C-Mac's going to be there. Captain Ron, I believe, is going to be there.
Captain Ron, Big Paul.
Big Paul's going to be there.
If you guys are around and if this drops beforehand, make sure you check that Egg Fest out because
it should be a fun Egg Fest.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
awesome.
the first one that they're putting on, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the first one ever in the area, if there's ever been other ones.
Yep.
I think they did a smaller version last year that Big Paul was at, but it was more, I forget the setup, but it was the seed that grew this event.
Nice.
It was the seed that planted. I mean, when you create these things, it takes a lot of work.
Sure.
A lot of work is behind the scenes that nobody sees.
Yep.
Making sure that permits are done, making sure that somebody put together all the eggs.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that's people are cooking on them right now. And then most of the time, you guys get to pick those demo eggs up at a fraction of the price. Help out that local distributor, so make sure you check that out. If ever you're looking for a deal on an egg, hit up an Egg Fest. There's going to be demo eggs. Talk to your people. Talk to the people cooking. Someone will know something about it. Get yourself an egg at a fraction of the price.
And
Always
really, any event that Big Green Egg is sponsored, like a lot of the events that Mel and I will do, you go and it may be a demo, not an Egg Fest, but we're doing a demo at Memphis in May. All the ones that we'll be using in Memphis in May, if you're there, you'll be able to buy a demo egg. So they really, if you follow Big Green Egg around at these events and you're looking for a deal, that's the place to do it.
100%.
So you're doing rubs, relocating, translocation. You're bending time and space and coming from the Windy City down to the east coast of Florida.
Correct.
First question before I get to the main question is any shot of getting you to stay or come to the west coast of Florida? It's pretty cool here, and I'm here, and Mel may be here. Future Mel, where are you?
There's certain people you'll have to convince. We've thought about land, like I said, we wanted to land in Jacksonville, but there's some stuff that might be in the works, so we're not sure.
Yep. Well, you've got a home and some homies here if and Jacksonville's not too far away. Was it like 4-hour drive or something?
It's about, I think, 3.5.
Even better.
It's not that bad.
Better by my math.
There you go.
It's not that bad. Jacksonville has a pretty cool barbecue scene up there by themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're really interested in kind of seeing where we're going to go.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm pumped. So there's a big event coming down the pipes in Tampa Bay. The Barbecue Love Fest put on by Grill and Provisions. So
Yes.
I'm in there. Anthony's in there. The pig cooker. We've got the swine.
Swig and Swine?
Swig and Swine.
Anthony.
He's an absolute
He's the
beauty, man. I'm
he's
so pumped.
Such a good guy.
Evie May is going to be there. There's a bunch of people piling into this.
I'd love
so
to get in.
hopefully
Get
you
the
jump
boot
on the
in.
train. But we had good talks.
I will be there.
So
I'm supposed to be there. It is on the calendar.
Mick is going to be there. It's going to be a good time. We're very excited.
Still can't fucking say my name right.
See, now
Mike-
that I'm doubly confused now.
That's it.
now you're giving more names.
Now I'm all the promotion will be like, Mick.
That's it.
Mick's on.
That's it. So no, the Barbecue Love Fest in Tampa Bay. We went and saw the park. It's an amazing park. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be crazy. It's really building up to be a real good barbecue event.
It's going to be a nice fest.
Yeah, right in the middle of downtown Tampa. It looks really cool. So make sure
What's
you
the
check
date?
that out. November 18th. Mel don't know days or weeks or any. There we go. We got a thumbs up one in the back, so we're good there. That's the one.
Boom.
Right on.
It's going to be a good event. We'll have all our rubs there. I believe we're supposed to be cooking with the pitmasters. I'd like to be in the pitmaster realm,
Awesome.
not the not that there's anything wrong with the competition realm of it. I don't really do competition barbecue. I always say, like, running a food truck and doing all that, like, that's my competition is coming out and making sure you're fed and making sure you enjoyed your dinner or your lunch.
I always like to think about it. I like cooking for people, not judges.
Yeah.
100%.
And I also don't want to pack, I don't want to pack so much flavor into one bite that you're like, oh my God, I can't take another one.
Definitely. No, so this, going back to what you were saying about running a barbecue supply store.
Yes.
Right? Something huge, and anyone watching this, when you walk into your local barbecue shop, it's a 50-50 if they're on the cutting edge of what you're looking for. If they're educated at all, most places, when you walk in there, they don't even know their own products. They're not using their own products. They might not even barbecue. So it's a huge bonus, and when I hear something like you might venture out into that,
Yeah.
We're totally behind that, 100% behind that, because that is the best place to go to get your stuff, is when you have someone that literally lives and breathes barbecue, selling barbecues and barbecue accessories. That's huge. You need that. So totally support it, man. I totally get that.
And I mean, and I think to add on to that, it's like I am on the social medias, you know what I mean? And I'm watching what guys are cooking with, what guys are, cooking on, what people like, what people don't like.
Yep.
Which is, I think it's a big thing. You go to so many places and you're like, hey, do you have this
thing that I keep
gadget?
seeing all over my feed? And if you're seeing it on your feed, you're going to have it. And then you're aligned with the market because these people are like seeing the same thing you are, and you're being aware enough to get the product in.
Yep.
Social media moves so fast that you gotta be on top of it.
It's the ever-changing, and really, to me, social media as we knew it, the OGs like us, it's different. I think
100%.
you even used the term, it's dead. Now, just to be fair, I'm getting really rained on right now, but I was teased so badly the time before that I'm not going to dare move or ask to
I thought
pause.
it was a good
I'm
thing
like,
to get wet, though.
In my defense, Toronto was down by 1 with 2 minutes left, and they just pulled their goalie, and I'm trying to pay attention.
Do you want to pause for the
This
last
is-
2 minutes?
I can do both of these things at the same time, but
Right.
I'm also somewhat invested because I'm in Florida, and it's Toronto, but it's Canadian, so you gotta.
It's still a little Canadian.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
love it, man. I love this. This is a fantastic night. I'm sorry you're getting wet. Sucks to be you. We're over here in the nice dry part of the.
I don't know. I'm getting a little bit on my arm, but
See, that's the No, but this
All
is
right,
Florida. This is
so-
Florida living, baby. This is Florida living. It's today when I was riding in the Uber from wherever I was
Right.
to wherever I'm at now.
Yeah.
I saw a Monte Carlo, like a 2003
Like
Monte
old
Carlo,
school.
like a 2003.
Yeah.
The guy had spray painted his headlights and his tail lights to be smoked, right? And he had like 26-inch rims on it.
Ooh.
This thing was jacked right up, and he had a McDonald's visor on because he was headed to work. And I was like, that's priorities in Florida right there.
That's
The rims are worth more than the car, and you work at McDonald's.
it's fantastic.
And this is something
well.
that
You build that persona up brick by brick.
Buddy.
Start with the tires. And
That's
you work
it.
your way
Oh,
up.
I love it. And this is what entices me to Florida more than anything else in the world. Is just there's so many wicked cars. There's so many. I love it. It's such a cool place. There's so many neat people. So many neat things
future
going on.
Mel, how do you like living in Florida now?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Better question is, what car are you driving?
That's
Yeah. And what are your rims? Tell us
Yeah,
about your
that's it.
rims.
Tell us
dude.
about your
Oh, buddy.
26s.
I love it. I love it.
And are you
man.
working at Burger King or McDonald's?
Exactly.
So we've gone through your podcast, your evolution into leaving your corporate world, like
Yes.
you know. But you were one of the very first people to do that. It was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't when everybody was, like it is now. You were a troubadour.
Yep.
You started this business. You've morphed. You're now moving. But I know there's another side to you that many people may not know. In fact, this may be the side that's called the Mickey side.
Maybe.
And that is your amazing photography skills. And not only that, but of different subjects outside of the barbecue world.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that and maybe how people can see your work?
I put all my stuff on Instagram, just my personal page, which is just Mikey K. But I do portrait photography and lifestyle photography. I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy catching somebody in the moment of doing something. I enjoy photographing somebody. I think it's a very personal thing when you get to take a good, strong portrait of somebody.
Right.
I think you can tell a big story about that person in that portrait, and that's the biggest thing. Is if you can tell a great story through the portrait, it's kind of like cooking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you do all this stuff to make it perfect.
Right.
Yep.
And you have all these other elements that don't want you to make it perfect.
Yep.
Canon or Nikon?
Canon.
Yep.
Lightroom or Photoshop?
Both.
Great
Nice.
answer.
Both.
Nice. You're very good at it, man. I have to say.
Thank
You
you.
took a few shots of me just over the last couple days, hanging out, catching me in the wild, right?
I'm trying to get on his worksheet for the
Yeah.
weekend.
We're
Trying
working.
to get some.
We're gonna get there.
He's done some amazing shots. Amazing shots. I'm very grateful, man. You got an eye.
Thank you.
You got the eagle eye, man, and that's important. You
Yeah.
have to have that heart behind that camera.
So if people like your photography, they're in the Jacksonville or Florida area, and they want to just DM
Always.
you. How
Yeah.
does that work?
Just DM me. I'm always looking to do stuff.
There you go.
I enjoy doing it. Like, let's make some stuff happen. I do portraits, I do lifestyle, and I do boudoir, which is Mel's favorite.
That is my favorite. Everybody that knows me knows I'm right into that stuff, so it's
and
fantastic.
boudoir is kind of like the pinup style,
Correct.
like pinup style
Correct.
tattoos.
No, and
and
he's got
still.
the eagle eye. He knows the right things to take, the
Now,
right
do you
angles.
set up the situation where you let the natural stuff happen and then photograph as it goes, or do you like to do portrait where you like be like this, think of this, face to the left, face to the right? How do you work? What's your directing like as a photographer?
So I try to get as natural as possible.
Okay.
Now, if it's like boudoir stuff, we try to give a little bit more direction,
Yeah.
because sometimes the model will get in front of the camera and she doesn't know what to do. So we try to coach her through it until she feels comfortable, and then eventually I like to talk to people while I'm shooting them. I like to get them comfortable, because I feel like if you throw a lens in front of somebody, if they're not comfortable in front of it, you're never gonna bring out what you need to bring out.
You didn't talk to me at
Yeah,
all.
you don't need direction in any way, shape, or form.
You didn't talk to me at all. He didn't. He just did me raw, just like that.
I think I told you like two things. It was very simple. Stand there, don't move.
That
Oh, I
must
really-
have been the hardest thing
That
for
was-
him
yeah.
to like stand there, don't move.
'Cause I'm on a-
Debbie was trying to take a picture of us earlier. Mel said, "Let me get this thing. I'll be right back." And he came out and started saying, Debbie's like, "Can I take a picture?" Mel's like, "Hold on, let me set up this thing." You move around a lot. You're a guy on the go. I love that about you.
No, and anyone that knows me, I'm a squirrel on cocaine. This is what I do. I
Cocaine
like to-
Bear.
That's it. The cocaine bear. That's exactly it.
See, now we can use that reference
can
here
use that.
and
That is
do an
a-
updraft of Cocaine Bear hashtag
That's
Mel
it.
Cocaine Bear.
That's it. So
There we go.
just so you know, I'm not on cocaine. It's just coffee and White Claws and probably picanha. But this is
And lack of sleep.
I don't
lack of
sleep.
sleep, yeah.
I don't sleep either. That's true.
That's a lie. I've seen you sleep.
No, I do sleep, but in weird spots. Weird spots I'm not supposed to be sleeping. This is my
Yes.
that's my magic trick.
So one thing I want I want Jordan to do an edit of just my facial expressions with the sounds going on in the background, because it sounds like we're living through a tornado. There's shit falling and
You guys don't
clanking
get
and
tornadoes
sirens.
here.
No, but it's been some severe weather here in the area lately. Point being is, I'm sure
Gotta
like
wait
if
for the
the
honk.
camera was just on my face the whole time, you'd see this progression of like, what the fuck? So other than Mel, have you met your muse? You talk about the subject, and sometimes you have to give them direction. They get shy for the camera. You can't get their real essence out. Have you found the person who just lights up and does, like, you describe Mel that way, but have you met Mel's female counterpart?
I photograph my wife quite a bit.
That one?
She gets photographed quite a bit for boudoir.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. She probably deals with me more than, it's probably more on my end being like, hey, let's go do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. But
Which, can we edit in some pictures
Sure.
that you all
Sure,
vet
we can-
and send
we can
our
send-
way that could be on this show?
I'll let her send you anything
Perfect.
she feels comfortable with.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
We do enjoy it. So you're right about that. That's fantastic. Right there.
And I also want to go on record to say, I've met her. She's a lovely person. I could see why the two of you together. I served you up the softball of softballs, and you had this long, dramatic pause before you answered your wife. I mean, I was like, who's your muse? Who's your favorite person to work with? It should have just rolled right.
Yeah, but I was getting like a death stare during it.
That may have been intended to me, but I was nervous to give eye contact.
No. She was like, he better save me.
I was hoping.
It's my truck. It's my truck.
It's my truck.
I like to be a great host. I want everybody to leave happy.
I really love my truck, guys. But, I pull it into barbecue. I get to take pictures of pit masters. I get to take pictures of, a lot of people. She kind of does make fun of me because I bring my camera a lot of places that we go. And, I'll walk up to just a random person and be like, hi, I'm a portrait photographer. Can I take a portrait of you? And, to some people, they're like, you're what? You're why?
Can I give you an idea?
Sure.
Totally free of charge. But I love watching your TikTok because you always iterate and do different stuff, like Random Fact of the Day, all that kind of cool stuff you were doing for a while.
Yeah.
I've seen some photographer TikTokers that do what you said. So their whole thing on TikTok is they walk up to somebody random on the street. Hey, I'd really like to photograph you. They awkwardly say yes. Then he does the photographs and then like
shows
quick
them,
edits on the phone, and then it's like a cool. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I like watching you do
great
cool
idea.
stuff. So that's an idea.
That's a great idea
that I think you would do in particular. Your personality.
Now I have to make her be a cameraman.
Well,
you know what they say? Behind every great Instagrammer is a boyfriend.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's actually one of my other favorite things to do. She makes fun of me. I will photograph the boyfriend taking photos of the girl because I find it funny.
Yes. No, I feel that.
And then her yelling at him being like, you didn't get the right shot.
I don't know. I've gotten pretty good at that for that very reason.
Yeah.
Getting the right shot.
Yeah, because when you're taking pictures of I have a lovely wife, Mrs. Buddha. When
you do. I met her tonight. She's a lovely lady.
She's a beautiful person inside and out, but I've learned over the years that I couldn't in good conscience be really proud of this awesome food photography that I was proud of and not be a good Debbie photographer, if you know what I mean. So I put in the time.
Let me ask you two this question. I'm gonna flip this on you guys a little bit and ask you guys the interview question. Try to remember back when you first started cooking and getting onto Instagram and doing all that.
Yeah.
What was your learning curve with food photography?
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge.
It's insane.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You had to, especially back in the day, it used to be not as set up.
Oh, and then you went through the whole iteration of like I got the nice DSLR and was learning how to do that, and then the algorithm didn't like imported pictures, so you went through that whole learning curve. But at the very beginning, it was less about photography, and it definitely wasn't about video. At the beginning, it was about look what I did.
Like right
so
now,
look what I did. Look what I just cooked. It was like I was proud of the thing, and I wasn't really. You learn that all of a sudden now you could do this thing that you're proud of, but now you can make this thing look really good, and what looks good and get just, and you learn and you iterate.
Well, we talked about this before. We've gone so far away from where we started, where it was, this is what I did.
This is what I did.
This is what I put into it.
Right.
This is how I got it.
Right.
And it was with pictures.
Right.
And people were right into it, and people were cooking it. People would run off and cook it. And most of the reels now that we see, no one's cooking that. They're liking, they're commenting, and then they're going on to the next one, and no one even cares.
But half the people that are cooking it aren't even eating it.
No, but that's the thing. Is that this whole thing is turned into such
I see what you're saying, that people are consuming this content, but they're not actually saving this recipe to do it or make it.
You go back to 2018, people were cooking
doing it. That was what you were all the time.
And you get the questions, though. You get
that's how I know.
What did you do?
That's how I know that they're not cooking it now. I did that, those edamame peas was such a simple thing. I had like 200 people message me. Well, what sauce did you use? I didn't see the sauce. Can you send me a list of the... And now no one messages me about anything in them. They've commented, they've liked.
Every now and again, though, you'll get somebody, and it's not like it used to be.
Yes.
But when it does happen, you're like, you feel good that it translated out there, and somebody said, hey, I'm going to make this sauce, do this thing, like that beer corn thing that went wild for you. And
it's still going wild. Thank you.
Is it still going?
Yeah, the beer corn is a very hot commodity still. Huh. It's just not corn season, so...
It's about to be, though.
Yes.
It's about to
It's
be.
about to be the season of Mel's Beer Corn. All over again.
Mel's
This is
Beer
so I have a
Corn.
real question for you.
Yes, sir.
This might put you on the spot a bit, but I have a real question for you. What pushed you to leave Chicago and come down here?
It's a loaded question.
I love it.
We were at the point with the food truck and everything to where we were growing so much and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Let me explain. We did pop-ups inside breweries, and we would bring our food truck to breweries, and that's how we made a living. We drank a lot and we served people food.
I love how he threw in we drank a lot.
Oh, yes, and it was good beer.
Yep.
So we fell in love with the craft beer world, and we fed the people. We saw there was a need in Chicago. There's not many breweries that have kitchens.
Yep.
Because they just don't want to deal with that aspect.
Exactly. Yep.
So they bring
And they're
people
in
in.
an environment where they can have a beer-only place and
Yes.
no food. So it's
Yeah.
a good marriage
And
with the person
most
like
of the
you.
time they got so much skin in the game too. They're not looking to double their investment with a kitchen.
And that's the biggest thing. They're not
Exactly.
looking to double
Right.
that investment
Exactly.
with a kitchen.
But they are looking to invest in a good partner that makes them look good on the food
Exactly.
side, because then people drink more
And
beer.
that's
or they
where
come- right.
Mikey
So-
comes in.
Exactly. And that was one of my biggest pitches with people when we first were going into places. It was like, hey, you know that people will drink more beer if they have food.
Right.
If they have something in their bellies, they're going to drink a little bit more. So we kind of pushed that aspect of it.
Yep.
And we were at the point where it was either open a brick and mortar
Yep.
or keep doing what we're doing forever.
Yeah.
And we have a little one, and we kind of looked at it like she hasn't really started real school yet. You know, she hasn't made real like lifelong friends yet or anything like that.
Yep.
We can relocate, and we started kind of looking at stuff. And we have friends in Jacksonville.
Yep.
If you guys know anything about us, we enjoy going to Disney every once in a while.
Yep. For the turkey legs.
For the turkey legs, yes.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
only reason we go. We looked at it and we were like, well, what if we relocate to Jacksonville? The weather's a little bit warmer. The taxes are a little bit better. So we started looking at that, and we made a couple trips down, hung out with our friends, got to see stuff. The Rub Line does actually very, very well in Florida.
Yep.
It's actually where we have the most retailers currently. So it was kind of like a no-brainer.
They're
you know
already
what I mean?
supporting you.
We're already the name is
Yep.
there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? People have seen the name.
Yep.
There's some kind of brand recognition.
Yep.
Why Jacksonville? How was that the place? Do you have a connection to Jacksonville, or do you just like the town of Jacksonville?
Our connection would be Southbound Rob and his lovely wife.
There you go.
They are
Great
good friends
guy.
of ours. I've been friends with Rob for years, and now since then, since we've made so many trips down, we've met some new people. We've met new connections and made more friends.
So you have
and-
your people in Jacksonville.
yeah, kind of growing more people.
That's awesome. And are you hitting the ground running? Like, you're going to do the food truck? Where are you getting partnerships with like breweries and
So
things there?
I don't
What's
know
the
if
setup there?
I don't. A lot of breweries have food down there. So, like I said, I think the ultimate goal when we get there is we're gonna do the grill store, and then have the truck available for obviously events,
and
catering. But then do maybe Friday and Saturday. We may do, traditional barbecue where we start at 11. Yep. When we're done, we're done. There's no more. Sorry. Once it runs out, it's gone.
And that's, let's be honest, if you were going somewhere to pick up a few rubs on a Friday afternoon and they happen to have brisket sandwiches, well, one of those are going down your gullet anyway. So
Yeah.
that just makes sense, man. That's an excuse to get those rubs early, and it's also an excuse to get you a brisket sandwich. So that's a genius move, man. That's
what we're
fully
going for.
support that, man. Fully
That's
support that.
amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Any way that we can help you
100%.
in that mission,
Yeah.
especially me being in proximity,
Yes.
you just call on me.
Sounds fantastic. See, this is the cool thing about like what people don't realize is you can make so many friends
Yes.
in this world now.
Yeah.
And they could be all over, but yet you could be right next to each other in a sense. It doesn't matter where you are.
Right.
And and that's one of the things that I love about barbecue is it's just like kitchen guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You call them at 2 a.m. and you tell them you're in jail, and they come bail you out. They don't ask you why you're in jail.
Yep.
They just come bail you out.
That's
To
pit
be
masters.
fair,
Pit masters are like
gonna
in the
ask.
trenches.
I'd still be there to get you out, but I would ask almost immediately. That's just,
In my experience, and you know,
you have some experience.
There's a time limit on that phone call.
but this is I've met a lot of people on my trips doing my things, and they've all been stand-up people, and they've all been willing to go to the wall for me. And I haven't really taxed that yet, but I've seen people moving a lot of stuff for me, and I don't really know them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's a. And this barbecue community has been amazing to me. The doors have all been open, and it's a reciprocal, ambient, whatever. Trying to think of a good term for it, but I'm not. Symbiotic relationship. Everyone has a rub, or everyone has some kind of product line, or everyone has a brand that they're pushing. They might need some help with
a book.
They might
Two
have
books.
a book.
Two books.
They might have 2 books that they've
books.
dropped now on you, and you have to just get in there and get dirty with it. And it's all awesome because it always comes around, and everyone is like-minded. We're all family-oriented. We're all home-based, and we're all trying to just build ourselves and our brands and doing what we do and what we love.
Well, I love your Wu-Tang concept.
Yes.
Mel's. Well, I don't know enough about the Wu-Tang. There were. Well, here's
Ain't
what
nothing
I
to fuck
think.
with. That's what it is.
Here's what I think you've conveyed to me about that concept. If I get it right,
Yes.
let me know. If I get it wrong, to correct me offline.
Yes.
Wu-Tang was put together by one killer rapper that went and tapped a bunch of other killer rappers that all had their rapper beefs and all that stuff.
Yes.
And he said, hey, we can all have all that stuff, fine, but the group of us together making this super group
Yes.
is going to be bigger than big
Unstoppable.
and give us the ability to do whatever we want to do, and then we could go do our own things and go back to doing whatever. Is that
Exactly.
essentially
No,
it?
and
And I
that's-
love that idea.
I mean, high tide rises all ships, right?
That's exactly
And the
it.
thing is, like, so Mel's got a killer rub that's coming out. That all-purpose.
Yep.
It's fantastic. It really is. I have now got to try it raw.
Flaming White Boy?
Yes,
That's right.
Flaming White Boy.
La Flama Blanco.
La Flama Blanca. Kenny
it.
Bowers.
That's
Did I
it.
not translate that?
You flaming white boy. Correct. Perfect.
So,
As he picks up a White Claw.
but the thing is, like, I use other rubs. You know, we have a pro team that we work with, guys that are helping us put out content, because unfortunately, like, trying to put all the content out yourself is insane. It's so much work. There's so much time that people don't see behind the scenes of what we do, and the editing time, the you know, you don't just take the picture and then just walk away like it used to be. You know, you're editing, you're doing this, you're making sure that this worked out, the lighting was good. You're taking time to cook the thing.
Yep.
You're taking all this time to put together a beautiful presentation.
Yep.
And it's like, I talked to our pro team guys, and they're like, you know, the first question that all of them asked me, they were like, well, does that mean I can't use any or post any other rubs? And I'm like, no, I'm in no way, shape, or form like thinking that you are only going to cook with
Yes.
my spices or my flavor profiles for the rest of your life. Like, I'm sorry, no one eats the same thing every single day.
Yeah. No, that's
Can we change the tone of this podcast?
Sure.
yes.
To you being what?
You better change that mentality, man. You got to go into this game like that's the only rub and spices they are ever going to use.
That's funny that you say that. So the chimichurri with Al,
Yeah.
right? And then you see someone making their own chimichurri, you're like,
right.
really? You're gonna make your own chimichurri? You're not using Al's chimichurri? What? And no, but it's all fake. Like, whatever, man. If you're willing to cut up that shit and do it
Sure.
from scratch, then good on you for doing that.
Well, I
it's
find
also
it really
easy.
is a
It's
lot
also
of effort.
it's easy to get out of a can, and it works 100%.
Well, here's the
so
thing. I get this question. I got friends that own barbecue stores, and I've talked to them, and, you know, they'll get guys that are coming in and they go, well, what in these bottles can I not make at home? Dude, you can make all of our rubs
Yes.
at home. There's
Yeah.
not a rub on the market that
No.
you cannot produce in your kitchen.
But who wants to go buy like the quantity of this?
But here's the
quantity,
question.
and keep
That's
it all
the thing.
fresh.
No
and then
problem.
Find, I mean,
No
you
problem.
know.
Go, you want to know how much pepper is a pound? You want to know how much garlic is a pound? You want to know how much onion? You can't
go
buy.
figure it,
You
right.
can't
No, but-
buy 4 ounces.
But let's be honest. If you want to break it down, you could cook a 4 Michelin star meal at home if you wanted to. Then nut up and do one.
When do they add a Michelin star?
No, but what exactly? 7 Michelin star restaurant. That's
Yeah.
I'm
All
sorry,
the
I'm
Michelin
from
chefs
Canada.
are like,
We don't
four?
have any
They've
Michelin.
added a fourth?
In Canada, Michelin is a tire company. So
Michelin's
now
always
you,
been a tire company.
yeah.
if you want that meal and you can cook it, then cook it.
Sure.
Put your money where your mouth is. Man, I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of hearing people.
Hey, listen, I can cook a brisket way better than you can.
That's
We
what
just
I'm
had
saying.
this conversation.
When I
No,
baby
exactly.
that
And
brisket,
that's what I'm saying.
I can baby that brisket all day long. But hey, cook 12 of them for me.
That's it.
At once.
No, that's exactly it. And that's my thing all the time.
Yeah.
When I pull Elvira out, it's nut up or shut up. And
Yeah, let's go.
And that's what we do. We feed hundreds of people at a time. They're all happy. No one has a complaint. And I leave that event with a smile on my face, proud to have done what I've done. So when someone mouths me off about one brisket that I cook on a big green egg for one post, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't have the time to deal with that. It is, leave your negativity out of my shit. That's my thing. And that's if you're not there to support, then...
Dude, that's one of the things I'm trying to get better at in my life. Just being more positive.
Fat cap sideways.
And fat cap sideways. Oh,
Dude, I'm telling you, that's
I'm making a sticker tomorrow.
That's our Wu-Tang concept.
I'm making a sticker
That's
tomorrow.
the umbrella
That's it,
of
that's
which
it.
this trifecta is
That's
going
it.
to conquer the
That's
world
it.
because we're trying to get Mel to move down here.
I might. Man, if you guys keep
What'd I
treating
tell
me
you
like this,
today?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Mel,
I don't
we
know
passed a
about
boat earlier. It was sunk, but me and you could probably afford it.
We could live in that boat right now. That's
There's
it.
at least one couch.
That's it.
It's above water.
Exactly.
Well, dude, that's how the people live down low out here in Gulfport, which you'll see this weekend. There's all the boats out there now. You can get a moored boat, the ball, and you pay the government X amount. But you can also
even get me
not do
started.
that and just
Don't
go
even get me
anchor up
started.
out there. You don't get the
Boats are cheap.
You don't get anything.
You
Boats
don't
are
get
cheap
anything,
out on
but
the
you
West
could do
Coast
that. And there
right
are
now,
plenty
too.
of people
That's
out
it.
there doing that, and they're living.
There's a
off
lot
the
of people
grid.
in.
Living off
I
the
mean,
grid.
they're living on some kind of grid, but they're living off the
Off the main grid. Yeah, I get you. It's definitely, I think the rub game is, I mean, it's saturated. I'm trying to pull it all back.
Yeah,
because
I was just like,
the
we were
80s
talking about
fantastic
grifters
all
on
over
the
here.
boats. And
But
I like turtles.
Yeah,
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
you got three guys that have really bad ADD that'll talk for hours.
That's it. I love it.
The game that we're all playing, it's a very interesting game, and a lot of people don't understand the game we play.
It's
Can
crazy.
you explain it?
Yeah.
What I mean by like the game we're playing in the barbecue world, like if you have somebody who doesn't do what we do,
Yeah, they'd never understand.
watch a day in our life.
Yeah.
They do not understand.
Yeah.
Well, why are you guys taking your phones out every 2 seconds? Why are you taking photos of this? Why? It looks like you guys don't work. It looks like you don't do this. Like the first thing everyone always asks is like, well, how much money did you make on that video? Or how much money did you make on this? And it's like, sometimes it's not always that easy. And sometimes that video, it might not work today.
Yeah.
It may not work next week, but everything starts to build.
Yeah, it comes
And,
around.
and it starts to be like, oh, well, I just found Dark Side of the Grill maybe yesterday, and they saw some video on something of yours, and they liked that video, and then they went down the rabbit hole of watching all your old videos and seeing, okay, well, I liked what he cooked 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I want to recreate that, or
Like the beer corn.
or I liked Buddha's first book better than his second book. I don't know.
Actually,
But people don't know unless they go right now
His second book is way better.
to
just
buy
so you know.
the second book.
Exactly. You gotta have both
available
books.
at all major retailers.
The second book, right there.
But it's one of those things, you know what I mean? Like they may find you by the second book and go
And
through
then-
all those recipes and then go, oh, there's another book, so I can go through a whole new world.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's and if you get both books, then you'll definitely want to get the third book because it's a trilogy. You have to find out where the little Hobbit actually ends up at the end of the third book.
That's right. I can't wait to see that.
Now, here's the crazy thing. You know that at some point
Yeah.
in future Buddha world,
Future self.
there's going to be somebody that's going to do like, they're going to, whatever new social media platform comes out, it's going to be cooking through the barbecue Buddha book.
Yes.
And we're gonna go recipe through recipe.
Yes.
There's gonna be somebody
like
out
a
there.
tour, like a tour of the barbecue Buddha's life.
How does that feel?
through cooking?
Feels pretty special.
Be very
Because
cool.
I know,
would
like,
love it.
I know. And Mel,
Has my mic not been on the whole time?
no, we just cut you off like way early.
Exactly.
We cut you off way earlier.
I don't doubt that.
We're gonna edit
Okay.
you in like that hour.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm Mel 2.0, just so you guys know. The next The next
AI
podcast
Mel.
that you see is just going to be me and Chris.
That's how it
Mel's going to be
happens.
gone.
That's how it
This is how it's
This
happening.
is how the transition's been part of the master plan. That's why Mikey has moved down to Florida.
That's it.
We are starting
That's
where
anything
we've got our own. This is it. The cat's out of the bag.
That's it.
Enjoy meat stock.
Exactly.
You're never coming back.
That's it.
But-
I might not. I still might not. I don't know.
And you'll get
Australia
this.
seems like my people.
Do you have anything in retailer yet? No, no products in retail. So you haven't had this phenomenon yet, and it's going to happen to you.
Yep.
When you walk into a retailer and you see your product
Yes.
next to all these other
Yes.
products, it's kind of a surreal feeling of I created that.
So I lied. So my hot sauce.
Okay, your hot sauces.
Yes. So when I Mundare has a Stanichi's. It's a Ukrainian deli
Okay.
up in Edmonton that I've had their sausage on my table since I was a baby. It's a family tradition that we have Stanichi's Ukrainian sausage every Christmas, every Easter, whatever. And the day that they put my hot sauce on their counter, and they don't carry hot sauce. They're a Ukrainian deli. They have no need for hot sauce.
No.
And they put my hot sauce on their counter. It's a place I take my Bubba, my grandmother. She's
Sure.
98 years old, to go for dinner. And there she looks over and she sees my tattoo.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What is that?" Well, that's my hot sauce. And they sell it here. Like, you want to talk about, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yes.
There's
it's
something,
huge,
and it's
huge.
very difficult to
Yes.
to
Because we got skin
explain.
in the game. We got
Yes.
huge skin in
Yeah,
the
I
game.
mean, the day that I saw my book next to Ernest Hemingway,
Yeah,
it
I know.
was.
I know.
I mean, it was emotionally. It was a pivotal moment in my life
I know.
to be amongst the
Ernest
The elite.
Hemingway's.
the elite of the literature world.
I mean, it definitely
can't-
when
I
you make
can't-
something physical.
I can't believe that they keep his stuff with Monet and like all
It's
the.
Yes.
most places
Wow.
it's behind a secure plastic bulletproof
Yes.
plastic case.
Yeah, we
As
want to make
with-
sure nothing happens.
No.
No, but honestly, like when you make something physical, it's very emotional.
Yeah, it
I
is
get it.
very emotional. No, you're right. You're right, and you should be 100% proud of it because you have a ton of skin in the game, and that's a big thing. We know so many people that have invested zero into this and are expecting full rewards, and
Yes.
they're mad at us because we have rewards. They have zero skin in the game,
And that's the hard part.
dude. You're moving across the country.
Yes.
Like, you want to talk about skin in the game? This is insane to me, but it's
That's pushing your chips all in.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. And that's it's huge to us. For sure, we feel you, man. We feel you.
but I mean,
We get
you've
it.
moved quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I have, and it's been a thing. I mean, you try moving to a whole new state in the middle of the pandemic.
It's an emotional ride though that you get
Oh,
when
buddy,
you
I can't
find like I created something, and then you get the guy that didn't create anything, and he's like, "That's the worst rub I've ever had," or
Yeah.
"I don't like that seasoning." Okay, cool. It's not for you. That's fantastic. Like I don't
Right.
care. Or I was doing sampling once, and I sampled our Six Corners, which is a heavy black pepper rub.
Yep.
It's very Central Texas, heavy black pepper. And he tried it, and he goes, "There's a lot of black pepper in it." I go, "Yeah, it's a heavy black pepper rub." He goes, "I think you missed it." No, I think I hit it. I think you just proved that I literally hit the nail on
It's
that.
hard not to climb across the table and, like,
But then you get the opposite side of it too.
100%.
You have any new products coming out? You have any new babies you're going to born in that area?
There's some stuff in the head that's starting to roll around.
Yeah.
Nothing that's been put down.
Those two sauces are available?
Those
now?
two sauces are available now.
So those are amazing. You guys need to check those
Yes.
out.
What are the
He's got their-
sauces? Tell
So
me
we
about
we
them.
have a red line and a green line. If you haven't noticed, most of our names all kind of come from a common theme.
Yep.
The Chicagoland area.
Yep.
We have red line is our mango chipotle sauce, and it's going to be a little bit hotter. None of our sauces are going to send you into the bathroom. None of them are going to be like, "Oh my God, use a toothpick. Don't put it on." We wanted flavorful sauces. We wanted them to be enjoyed. We wanted you to go through bottles. So that one's going to be, I think it's a little bit sweeter,
Yep.
but it still has that heat component to it. And then we have our green line, which is it has an avocado in
Yes.
it, which people don't necessarily hit with hot sauce.
I love it.
But it gives you that nice creaminess through it. It's a great breakfast sauce.
It's silky
fantastic
sauce. It's very. No, it is very nice. Like as soon as I tasted it, I was like on a burrito with egg. Like it's.
You bring any of this with you, dude?
No, you don't get any of it.
I'm telling you right now, it like
I feel influenced right now.
We hit it when we were grilling provisions. He brought 2 bottles and we emptied them. We emptied both of them right now. They were that good. Like we hammered them hard.
They are a good sauce.
No, it's got a bit of a kick,
but it's not one of those things
it's
where
palatable.
It's like do not try that one.
No, that's key in hot sauce, especially for our style of cooking.
Yes.
Right? You're not making chilies with it. You're using it on direct application.
Yeah.
And if you're using it on direct application, it has to be palatable, and that's a big part of it.
Yes.
Which a lot of hot sauces don't seem to understand, and that's why you have the Chipotles. Welcome to shitting yourself. And that's not what we're about. We want you to taste it. We want you to taste the small batch fermentation,
the enjoying.
Enjoy it, and be in the moment with it when you taste it. That's key.
Yes,
and you hit it on both of those. So
thank you.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah,
we are working on a little bit hotter of a hot sauce eventually.
Are you gonna call it the hotter of the hot sauce?
Yes. No, we'll call it something else, but we will be working on that eventually. That's kind of in the works. But like with rubs, with sauces, you can't just be like tomorrow be like, "Hey, I'm putting this out." You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some testing in the waters.
You gotta
really make sure that you're putting your name on it.
Yeah.
So you want it to fit the brand. You want it to fit where you're going with it.
Yeah.
No, we've been asked for a little bit hotter of a hot sauce, and so we're listening to people.
Yep.
And they're like, "Hey, they're like, we love these 2 sauces, but is there anything that's maybe we could get a little bit more?"
That's the problem with hot sauce connoisseurs is that they also like the pain and punishment.
That or they've killed their taste buds and they need more.
Which was what we talked about. If you're in the barbecue world, you're in the hot sauce world, you're probably smoking Maduros or triple Maduros, right? You're drinking bourbon that's 200 proof, right? You know why? Because you got nothing left of your taste buds. Which is why we're always chasing the dragon with the heavy stuff, because it is what it is. This is part of the game, right? We've eaten smoke for so long. We're chewing on that bark. We're doing those things. The heavy peppers, man. That's life for us. But yeah,
I mean, it's kind of what we do.
Yeah,
we enjoy it.
Yeah,
we love feeding people. I think that's where the passion comes from. And I get this question: why do you do it?
Yeah,
and my answer is always very simple. When I watch you eat, 2 a.m. is not that bad anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or getting up to make sure that the brisket's ready.
Yep.
Getting up and playing with a stick burner all night.
Yes.
And keeping her where she needs to be.
Yep.
It's not that bad anymore.
Yep.
When you see somebody eat it.
To see the joy in people's faces, to see the passion for what they're eating instantly, it's instant gratification, and it makes the whole regime of punishment that you put yourself through for 2 days before that all worthwhile.
You can't hide it.
That's exactly it.
Especially if they don't know you're watching them.
Yep.
That first bite it's an immediate tell.
Yeah. No,
because either they don't like it or they love it.
Yeah. And they usually love it. So that's a big one. That's a big one. When you actually see people that have enjoyed the meal, they come, they have their little bit to say to you, you take it all right to your heart, directly to your heart. At the end of that event, it goes straight into the bank, and that's what keeps me going.
And that's what gives you energy for the next one.
Yeah, the 3 a.m. grueling, whatever, all of a sudden doesn't weigh so much on you.
We were up till 11, but calls at 1 a.m. Not in the afternoon. Where we were up drinking till 11. We went to sleep for 2-3 hours, then got up and started a fire.
Tell me what you think of putting water in your smoker. I want to hear about that real quick.
Well, I smoke on a Myron Mixon H2O.
Yep.
Which is a water smoker.
Mm-hmm.
I love it for a couple different reasons. The moisture that it keeps is fantastic.
Yep.
The other thing is coming from Chicago and cooking year round.
Yep.
When you open that door,
yep,
that water's still sitting at 212.
Exactly. So when
I close that door, my cooker bounces back up to 212 almost instantly.
Yep.
Because of the steam and the moisture.
Yep.
It works as a great heat sink when you have to move stuff
Yes.
in the cold.
Yes. No, and I love that. I do love that. I honestly think, I don't know the science behind it, but I honestly think that having moisture floating around in there with the smoke helps it penetrate the meat a little better.
Yes.
There has to be some component to that.
It takes out spritzing, though. You don't have to spritz anymore.
Exactly.
If you read my first book.
I did. I did. I read his first
Moisture
book.
is the most important thing in managing humidity.
Yep.
That is all about smoke, adhesion, color, and flavor.
Yep.
So it's being able to balance that between too dry of a surface and too wet of a surface, and that is the art of the pitmaster.
There you go.
Managing
Moisture is the most
pellet.
important thing in a lot of aspects of life.
Yep.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
This has been amazing. I had an absolute blast, man. Thank you very much for coming on.
Dude,
This
it's an
is-
honor.
I mean, literally what After the Cook is intended to be. We
100%.
cooked and we hung out.
We ate, we
This is
drank.
after the cook,
cigars.
and we're chilling. I mean, this is it,
This
right?
is-
This
this is-
episode is
It
OG
rained.
After the Cook.
This
It
is-
rained. We almost died because of hail.
That's it. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And it was a real pleasure to really hang and break bread with you, man. It
Absolutely.
feels weird
Thank you.
being on the other side of the chair this
Yeah,
time
dude.
around.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
know?
fantastic. I loved it.
Mikey K, where can we find you, dude?
Yeah,
Where
where
can
can we
people
find
find you?
Guys, you guys can find us at fireandsmokebbq.com. It's firesmoke_BBQ on Instagram. We post stuff about rubs, stuff about everything we're doing there. My photography is at Mikey K on Instagram. That's the only place you can really find it. But we have the website up. You can order all the rubs there.
And look for your grill
And hot
store
sauces.
in Jacksonville
And
in
look
the
for the grill
coming year.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Deadly. That would be huge.
That's the game.
Right on. Well, we'll be down. We'll come check it out.
Well, my
Can't wait.
name is Chris Sussman, otherwise known as the Barbecuda.
The barbecue what? Can you try that one more time?
Ooh,
I felt like I was sticking the ending, and I
love
totally
it. I
I
love
lost it.
Well, my name is Chris Sussman, otherwise known as the Barbecue Buddha.
My name is Mel Schmiller, Dark Side of the Grill. You should know that already, and you should have subscribed. And your grandmother should have subscribed, as well as her aunt and your
Why don't you
aunt and everybody
subscribe?
else. You know what? Why don't
Follow,
you hit the
comment.
bell, do the things, hit all the buzzers, like it, subscribe, share it to everybody, throw it on your
Share
email
it to
list
your
of work.
Bubba.
Give Bubba a copy of this for
Bubba.
sure. And show us in the comments how much you love or hate this. I don't care, but put it in there and let me know because we want to hit you back. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Follow along on our adventures. This is about to get deadly. Grilling by Feel.